A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I want A+ English because it's so much fun. English education for you and everyone, so come along. Learn some grammar, learn a phrase, learn something new every day. Learn the A+ way. Hey, it's time to start the show. Are you ready? Good, 'cause here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I want A+ English.
Hi everyone and welcome to A+ English. I'm Pat.
And I'm Elsie.
And today we're going to be looking at QR codes. QR codes are everywhere, but in today's article we're going to find out where they started. Now, of course, to use a QR code, you need to use your phone most of the time. And that leads to our warm-up question. What would your life be like without your phone?
Wow. Without my phone, my life would be very boring.
Okay.
And I couldn't get any access to the internet whenever I want to.
Yeah, there is that. To be honest, I think if I was at home or in the office, very little would change.
Yes.
If you're at home, you've got computers, you've got in your office, you've got your computer. But what I would lose out most of all is being able to walk around and listen to some music.
Yes.
All my music is on my phone. So if I didn't have my phone, I'd have to go and find like an old cassette player or something like that. Go to Guanghua and find some old music playing device.
Yeah, and when you are taking the MRT, you have nothing to do.
I would take my book.
Okay. I always play with my phone. So.
I bring my if my headphones are broken or something like that, I would always take my book with me and read it on the MRT. So it would be mostly the same, but a little less convenient, a little less fun, a little less easy. That's kind of how it goes. But let's move on to our article. It's our encyclopedia article, and we're going to learn about QR codes.
Where did QR codes come from? Warm-up question. What would your life be like without your phone?
Hello, and welcome to the show. Today, we are going to talk about QR codes. The question of the day is, why were QR codes first used? Is it A, to track people's health, B, to track soldiers' information, or C, to track car parts in factories? Do you have the answer in mind? Now, the answer is C, to track car parts in factories. We often scan QR codes with our phones. They help us pay in stores, board trains, and transfer money. Masahiro Hara invented them in 1994 to track car parts during manufacturing. The black and white squares hold more information than the original 1D barcodes. These can hold fewer than 100 characters. However, a QR code can hold up to 7,000 characters. We now use QR codes all the time. For now, 1D barcodes aren't going away, but we'll see more QR codes in the future.
So as I said, this is our encyclopedia article, which of course means we have a question, and in a moment we'll have 3 answers. Let's look at our question first, because it's got some useful and interesting language in it. The question is, why were QR codes first used? Not when, not where, not how, not who made them, but why? What was the reason?
Why 我们用到疑问词 why 问原因，后面加一个被动，那是被动语态呢是 were used， 所以 QR codes 为什么第一次会被使用？那这样的用法还很常见呢，像是我们问人家说，你什么时候出生的？ When were you born？ 好，它也是一个被动的用法。
Right, and of course we're using passive voice in this question because the important thing is not the person who did it, it's the fact that it happened and we want to know more information. There are some other questions we could ask using this kind of pattern. When were the pyramids built? So not who built them, but when. Or where are the bathrooms located in this restaurant? That's also using the passive are located.
没错，那再来呢，还有一个情状副词，我们在这边有看到哦，它是 first。那我们先进到 Magic Box 听讲师讲解。
Magic Box。
嘿，魔女，嘿，魔女，你怎么长得这么漂亮 ？Oh, hello everyone！ 哎，大家都被黑的魔女我美丽的歌喉给惊艳了吗 ？I know. Many people think I sing well。哎，这是当然的。有什么事情是我做不好的吗 ？I can sing well. I can dance beautifully。哇，哎，我怎么这么有才华是的，没有错。I sing， 我唱歌。哎，但我不只是唱歌，而是唱得很好。I sing well。哎，这边呢，你可以看到 well 这个副词扮演的角色啊，就是在形容我做唱歌这件事情的状态。因此呢 ，well 在这边呢，就是我们所谓的情态副词哦，可以放在句中一般动词的之前或者是之后，用来说明啊动词发生时的情形或是一个状态哦。I can dance beautifully， 哎，一样用到 beautifully 这个情态动词去描述我跳舞的时候，舞姿也是非常的曼妙呢。我还有啊，哎，一个强项你们一定都知道。I can easily put a spell on someone。哎，我可以轻易的对某人施展咒语，对不对？所以啊，你们可要小心，别惹到我了哈。这边啊用到的情态副词 easily 就是一个放在一般动词之前的例子喽。哎，我们可以来看一下情态副词的变化，它跟形容词其实有密切的关系哦。其实非常简单，第一种呢，通常啊就是在形容词后面加上 ly 就行喽，像是 beautifully、carefully、quickly、loudly 等等的。那第二种，如果是形容词字尾 ble， 则是去 e 加上 ly。For example, possibly、comfortably。再来呢，字尾如果是子音加上 y 要怎么办呢？很简单，只要呢先去掉字尾的 y。后面呢再加上 ily 就可以喽。就像呢我刚刚说到的 easily、happily、luckily 等等。还有一种常见的不规则变化，就像一开始也有提到的 well， 这个呢就跟形容词 good 完全的不一样喽。最后一种啊，跟我的魔法一样神奇的，不管怎么样都不会有任何的变化，像是 early、fast、late、soon。同学们，情态副词学起来没啊？
Hi everyone, welcome back. So let's remind ourselves of that question. Why were QR codes first used? So we've got our usual 3 answers here. So let's see if we can figure out the right one. We have A, to track people's health.
People's health 那就是人们的健康。那前面那个动词很重要哦，是 track， 什么意思呢？ Let's take a look。Track 这个动词呢，代表是追踪。Track somebody or something， 那就是追踪某人某物。像是呢，我们可以说 The teacher tracks each student's progress， 代表老师追踪每位学生的学习状况。那课文中说到的这个 A 选项啊 ，to track people's health， 那就是追踪人们的健康状况。那另外呢 ，track 也可以当名词用哦，代表是踪迹。像是呢，我们可以说 The killer was careful not to leave any tracks behind him， 代表那个杀手小心翼翼的不留下任何踪迹。那单字例句给的是呢 The doctor told me to wear this machine for 24 hours. It can track my steps. 医生要我佩戴这个装置24个小时，它能够追踪我的步伐。
Yep, and I have a watch that will track the number of steps I take, the number of steps I climb up, the distance I walk every day. It could track my blood pressure as well, I think, or at least like my heartbeat, but I've turned that off because it never seems to work that well. And there are other things you can track. You might have an app that you can use to track the money you spend each month. And just keep an eye on it.
没错，那我们的 A 选项是为了追踪人们的健康 ，Is it A?
Well, it would make sense, just kind of putting, but then you'd have to put the QR code on people.
On skin?
Yeah, like
That'd be weird.
Like a sticker or something. I think you can do that, but that probably wasn't what it was done for first. So maybe it's B. Again, we've got the word track. Here it's to track soldiers' information.
Track 又出现了，追踪什么东西呢 ？Soldiers information. Soldier 是士兵，好，或是军人。那 information 这个字，我们先来看一下怎么使用它吧。Information 这个名词啊，代表资讯、资料，那可以简称它为 info。它是一个不可数名词，要特别注意。那关于某事的资讯，我们可以说 information on or about something. So, for example, do you have any information about their project? 你有没有关于他们专案的任何资讯呢？那如果我们说啊，资讯越多越好，没错。但是如果太多，给太多，你可以跟他说 too much information。好，太多的私人资讯，对方也是不想知道的。那再来呢，服务台是 information center， 就是你可以获得资讯的地方。单字例句给的是呢 I needed some information about planets, so I went to the library. 我需要找些关于行星的资讯，所以我去了图书馆。
Here's another example of that word. You might be told, please bring all your personal information with you when you apply for a new account at the bank.
Personal information 就是你的私人、个人的资讯。我们的 B 选项给的是追踪士兵的资讯，是这样吗
Again, where would you put the QR code? On the soldier? Or on the soldier's information sheets, on their equipment? I think that might be more possible than health, especially early on.
Yes.
Because health is quite complicated, but just soldiers, maybe where they are, what they're doing, you could put it on their uniform. Okay, that could make more sense, but let's check out answer C, to track, again, car parts in factories.
这里的 part 当零件解释，所以 car parts 那就是汽车零件，所以 C 选项是追踪工厂里面的汽车零件。
Seems more possible.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. But let's look at the word parts. Everything that's made up of lots of different things, these things are parts. You might say, I need some new parts for my computer, or I can't play some of the latest video games. You need a new graphics card, basically. That is a part. So let's go to the article and learn more about QR codes and what they were used for first. It says, we often scan QR codes with our phones.
Scan 这个动词呢是扫描，所以我们通常都用手机扫描 QR codes。
Right. With scan, it basically means you use some kind of camera or special camera to read something and check the information. It could be like a code like this, but you can also use machines to scan other parts and see what's below the surface. The idea is you get lots of detail, and that detail gets recorded onto some kind of machine or computer. For example, the doctor scanned my leg to see if the bone was broken. That type of scan, of course, is an X-ray. So back to QR codes, the article says they help us pay in stores, board trains, and transfer money.
OK, QR codes 也就是二维条码，它们有很多的功用。第一个是 pay in stores， 第二个是 board trains，
Okay.
第三个是 transfer money。好，所以 pay in stores 当然就是在店里面付账。
Easy enough.
What about board trains？ 我们先来看一下 board 这个动词。Board 这个动词呢，可以解释为上车、上船、上飞机等等的。那像我们在机场呢，会听到广播告诉我们，可以准备登机了。好，你可能会听到 Attention all passengers， 全部旅客注意听咯 You can start boarding now， 你现在可以开始登机了。那当然，登机就是 board the plane。那如果是登火车、上火车，那就是 board the train。那上船去。登船就是 board the ship。单字例句给的是呢 Please line up and show your ticket when you board the ship。上船时请排队并出示你的船票。
We tend to use this verb board for larger vehicles. So big boats, planes, trains. You could use it with a bus, but you wouldn't say board a car or board a motorbike.
没错，所以是大型交通工具的时候，你才用到 board 这个字。
Right, here's an example. We can't board the train yet because the staff are cleaning it.
OK， 那回到课文呢，我们说到 QR codes 二维条码，它在很多方面都可以帮助到我们。有第一个在店里面付账，第二个上火车，再来转账也会用到 transfer。好，这个动词在这边就结束了转账。
Right, you put it from one bank account to another bank account. Could be between yours and another one of yours, or yours to someone else's. I use a bank app to transfer my rent to my landlord every month. So let's find out who invented QR codes and why. The article says Masahiro Hara invented them in 1994, so quite a while ago, to track car parts during manufacturing. So C is our answer.
C is our answer. 那这边是要 track car parts during manufacturing. Manufacturing 这个名词代表的是生产制造，所以1994年的时候 QR codes 二维条码就被发明出来了。那目的就是要在生产制造的过程呢，追踪汽车的零件。
So manufacturing is making things, but on a big scale, in factories, when you're making hundreds and thousands of things. We could say, there was a problem during manufacturing and none of the computers worked properly. But why did he need QR codes? Why did he decide to invent them? The article says, the black and white squares hold more information than the original 1D barcodes.
hold 这个字有很多的解释，我们学过举办或是抓住、捧住、握住、抱住，这里不一样哦，它是容纳跟储存。
Yeah, hold means contain here, but of course, if it's information, it doesn't have to be physical. It can just be how much can you store in this, pattern or set of lines or squares. For a normal thing about hold in this way, we could say this shopping bag can't hold any more food. I'll need to buy a second one. So this was the original, barcodes were original and then QR codes came later.
没错 ，original 这个形容词呢，就是原先的、起初的，所以这些方形条码可以容纳呢，比以前一维条码还要更多的资讯。所以 original 最先的是一维，然后现在是 QR codes 二维条码。
Right, original is the first one that was made. I would say I prefer the original cartoon Aladdin movie to the live action one from a couple of years ago. But why did he want QR codes? Well, the problem with barcodes is they were a bit too small. We see in the article, these, meaning barcodes, can hold fewer than 100 characters, or characters of information.
100 characters. Character 这个名词也有很多的意思，那这边是什么呢？ Let's find out. Character 在课文当中代表的是字母、数字、符号或是字元。那要注意哦，字首的 ch 发的声音是 character。那再来呢，我们写中文字的时候或是日文字，好，它们都是 characters, Chinese characters, Japanese characters。那我们课文说到一维条码呢，它可以容纳的字元是少于100个的。那再来character 还有别的意思，像是书电影、戏剧等等的人物或角色，所以 a cartoon character 那就是一个卡通人物。单字例句给的是呢 Lester wants to learn to read Chinese, so he's studying Chinese characters. Lester 想要学会阅读中文，所以他正在学习中文字。
So I could say, I only have 2 characters in my Chinese name, but there would be 12 in my English name, because a letter is also a character.
A character, yeah.
Okay, so a barcode holds fewer than or less than 100 characters. We see in the article, however, a QR code, not a barcode, can hold up to 7,000 characters.
That's a big difference.
It is huge.
Up to 这个片语呢是高达，所以二维条码也就是 QR code 一个就可以容纳高达7000个字元。
Yeah, up to tells you the most, the maximum amount. My cell phone's battery can last up to 30 hours before I need to charge it. The article then says, we now use QR codes all the time.
我们现在呢无时无刻都在用 QR codes， 到处都是。
For now, 1D barcodes aren't going away, but we'll see more QR codes in the future.
1D barcodes aren't going away. Go away 代表是消失，所以目前一维条码并没有消失，还是存在的。只是在未来呢，我们会看到更多的二维条码。
Right, we're not getting rid of these old barcodes just yet, but they will probably disappear over time. We might say some people are using old-style cell phones with no internet again. People are. But smartphones aren't going away anytime soon. And maybe the future of QR codes will make them 3D, which would be very interesting. So we hope you've enjoyed learning about QR codes today, but now let's go to today's review time activity.
Review time!
So Elsie and I are going to work together for this activity. We're going to try and think of as many uses as we can for QR codes in 1 minute. But then we'll try and think of as many things as we can that still use regular barcodes. Also in 1 minute to see which number is higher. Then we can see how close we are to moving away from barcodes to QR codes. Okay, so I've got my watch working. Okay.
说这 QR codes 到底可以让我们干嘛？
All right, so let's go with QR codes then. How many can we think of? Go.
We can use QR codes to board the train.
Okay, board train.
To download apps.
Add people online.
Yes. To transfer money.
Yeah, people used to use them to scan to say I'm going into this building before, back in early COVID days.
And we can get access to Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi, okay. You can go to a store and get information about products by scanning stuff or a fair or something like that. You can order things online, like scan the QR code.
Right.
You can get information about an event. You'll often get like a DM. There'll be a QR code on it. You go, oh, I'll scan that. That takes me to the website or Facebook page.
Now you can use QR codes to order in the restaurant.
Oh, that's right. Yes, you order, you go to the menu and you just order. You don't need to actually get a waiter to come over, which is great when it's busy. Okay, that's 11 and that's roughly a minute. So we came up with 11. What about regular barcodes?
Regular barcodes.
Okay. All right, let's go. Okay, regular barcodes. So buying stuff in supermarkets.
Yes, when you check out, you need barcodes.
Exactly. Okay.
And you can save your online receipt.
Yes. Yep. But that uses QR codes as well. That's
barcode too.
Yes.
Both. Yeah.
When you go to the hospital, there's a barcode on the back of your Genbao card, which you need to scan, don't
and
you?
Also on our ID cards.
Yep, ID cards, ARC, so foreigners have that.
Yes.
And in some hospitals, when you get the receipt, you can scan that barcode to pay in the machine or get a blood test, so that still uses regular barcodes.
So mostly it's used for paying, right?
Library books, I think, still use regular barcodes rather than QR codes.
To check out books?
Yep, so I think that may change in the future. I haven't flown anywhere for a long time. I don't know what you see on airline tickets now.
Oh, your boarding pass has barcodes
Does it have a barcode?
Yeah.
Okay, so so still quite a lot, it seems, and still for a lot of things, and that's about a minute. Now, the reason is because not everyone can get a QR code scanner for all these machines that have been using barcodes for so long. It will take a long time to replace them, but it will happen eventually. But we're out of time. Thanks for watching, everybody. For A+ English, I'm Pat.
I'm Elsie.
And we'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Where did QR codes come from? Warm-up question. What would your life be like without your phone?
Hello, and welcome to the show. Today, we are going to talk about QR codes. The question of the day is, why were QR codes first used? Is it A, to track people's health, B, to track soldiers' information, or C, to track car parts in factories? Do you have the answer in mind? Now, the answer is C, to track car parts in factories. We often scan QR codes with our phones. They help us pay in stores, board trains, and transfer money. Masahiro Hara invented them in 1994 to track car parts during manufacturing. The black and white squares hold more information than the original 1D barcodes. These can hold fewer than 100 characters. However, a QR code can hold up to 7,000 characters. We now use QR codes all the time. For now, 1D barcodes aren't going away, but we'll see more QR codes in the future.
Word power. Track. Track. The doctor told me to wear this machine for 24 hours. It can track my steps. The doctor told me to wear this machine for 24 hours. It can track my steps. Information. Information. I needed some information about planets, so I went to the library. I needed some information about planets, so I went to the library. Board. Board. Please line up and show your ticket when you board the ship. Please line up and show your ticket when you board the ship. Character. Character. Lester wants to learn to read Chinese, so he is studying Chinese characters. Lester wants to learn to read Chinese, so he is studying Chinese characters.
认识字汇
Scan. Scan. Transfer. Transfer. Manufacturing. Manufacturing. Original. Original.